Okay, so there isn't a whole lot of reason I should be talking about EMIYA, besides the fact that like he's on rate up. I do have a video and it was close to the date, but let me just do it with this mic. I have very high praise for EMIYA, but you need to have both Vitch and Castoria to really make him shine at MP1. Yes, that is a high requirement, but these are extremely meta servants that people go out of their way to get and is available to get relatively easily. I'm not saying the characters, I'm saying being able to use those two. I'm not promoting anything. You know what you know. You know what you know. That's why I have EMIYA ranked as high as he is, because like having a Vitch and a Castoria is not that hard if you know where to look. I didn't do that shit, and I have proof I didn't do it, but I don't blame anyone that does. This is the OG Red Archer Faker, the hero of justice. Also like combined with Nameless. It's a mess. FGO doesn't help at all. It makes FGO honestly makes it more confusing. Base attack above the middle point. HP low, but I mean it's EMIYA. He's not supposed to be like out lasting Herc, right? Star Gen, Star Weight, these are Archer numbers. MP charge 0.51. They made his deck like decent. They made his deck decent for what it is right now. Like I know back in the day, like this was not ideal. Like he wasn't regenning enough. He couldn't do Buster Brave Chains, but with all his buffs, he's like looking like really, really good. Does he still need more buffs? That's a hard question. That's honestly a hard question. Does EMIYA need more buffs? I want to say no, but like who knows? They might start buffing Eye of Mind True, although I doubt it. Evasion for 1 turn, 3 turns of defense, 18%. This skill is like fine. They're like, I think people value false more, and it kind of doesn't make sense that you'd value this false version of a skill rather than the true, but who am I to say about game design? Second skill is one of the first things, or one of the earlier buffs he got. No, it was the second buff he got, but it is one of the more impactful ones. So it was 32% Star Gen for 3 turns on arts cards. Like, okay, granted, this was to help with a Buster MP, so the Buster version would drop stars. When they made it so wait, oh no, okay. I had to get perspective of the buffs first. So first they buffed traces, they buffed this. Yeah, okay, that's what was wrong with EMIYA at the start. He had a trip. We're gonna get to that. So Star Gen 32%, they buffed it, they made it 100, and then they gave him 100 crit damage. This skill is not getting touched again. This skill is actually like crazy for his own kit. Like, yes, other servants can give you the Star Gen, and I mean, like him with Miss Crane, he is a summer servant, so that is so many goddamn stars from an arts MP that can drop. It is actually ridiculous, because you might get like 50 plus stars off an arts MP, and that wasn't a star bug. That to me is mind-blowing possibility. Like how do you turn an arts MP into a quick? Give it 200% Star Gen and let it be 10 hits. Easy. Crit damage, really nice. Now let's get to the buffs. So first, it was a 35% arts buff for a turn. That was hit with this skill. When he had a Buster MP at the time, and it wasn't buffed yet. Like, and even this switching is because it's tied to interludes, not the strengthenings. So you can have an unbuffed MP that's arts. Just saying. We're not at MP yet though. First buff was they turned it into 40% buffs for all card types. That's good. Now it's MP as a buster buff. That's awesome. But this is still kind of weak. Still kind of weak. Then they buffed this, made it feel better. It still fell off. And now it's Trace on EX. Double buffed it, made it a Omni card buff mana burst. All cards 50%. And then lets you switch between arts and buster. This is how the whole stuff with Vitch and Castoria works. You start off with Vitch. That is what you start off with. It really depends on the setup. You can start off if you how do I phrase it? Yeah, so if you start with a K scope, you will be just popping Castoria's arts buff. You will pop skill 1, you will pop this skill and make it arts. You will do the arts MP, then you use Vitch to reset the cooldown. You do want actually sorry, it's been a minute since I did like EMIYA buster farming, but from what I understand, you start off with buster. Yeah, I think you start off with buster. Turn 2, you do 1 Vitch and then 1 Castoria, MP on arts. And then I think you have the choice whether you want to MP on buster or arts. I think it depends, but EMIYA is kind of a servant. You have to play around with his looping because it is so weird. But just because it's weird doesn't mean it's bad, because that is versatility. You can choose more emphasis on the buster crit for the last wave, or arts looping. It really depends on you. I might upload like a video of like EMIYA looping if I might be restricted on that because I don't have this skill maxed out. But yeah, this is the most important skill in his kit. You need this maxed out, then this, but this takes high priority because of cooldown reasons. Sorry if like it feels like I'm not selling EMIYA enough. It's just like he isn't a standard buster farmer, but he's a servant that's been in the game for a long time, so a lot of people have copies of him. I don't have that many copies of him on my NA account, but I haven't been summoning that much. I'm probably gonna get spooked by him summoning on Morgan Banner or Melson sometime this year, so I'm not too worried. Deeper res 12%, 12.5%. Sorry, 8% crit damage. Pen skills. I'm gonna pick and choose. I think mana loading good, more options. Like he doesn't have a battery. He's not a real DPS. He's more MP spam. So extra attack doesn't do much. Although this isn't bad, but base stats aren't good either. They're average. They're average at best. So MP, it always pierce defense, always reduce their attack. This was a super early buff. This was a super early buff, so they didn't add shit. They just gave it damage. That's part of the fucking reason why like these single target archers are like left in the fucking dust. It's because the first MP buffs were dog shit, and so many of the original archers got those dog shit MP buffs that didn't do anything besides damage. That is a year 1 game design problem that the only way to rectify is to retroactively buff those MPs, which they haven't done. If you want to buff something, you have to do a strengthening, or they have to like buff them again, which they haven't been. Last month they handed out a bunch of buffs. They haven't been handing out that many. That was because of arcade. And I still have my list of what servants I need to talk about for who got for tier list stuff. I still made the list. MP is good for what it is. Arts, you'll refund a bunch. Buster, you'll do some good damage with Double Vitch. You will not double stack this on a single turn unless you're using Atlas Mysticode. That's not happening. And if you're Buster farming with a Castoria, that's not even possible. Not in a farming situation, at least. Bond CE, 30% MP damage, 30% chance to gain crit stars when attacking. Something to note on this is that it is not tied to normal attack. It is just attacks. So his MP might drop more stars from this if you so choose. Yeah, EMIYA is just someone you have to play around with. He is very capable of 3-turn farming. It's just you need to have the tools and you need to have a flexible mindset. Because if you go in thinking it's gonna be like Buster farming, like not Space Ishtar, like regular Ishtar, you're gonna have a bad time. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, sub, all that good YouTube stuff. I'm putting this at the end of the video because I'm really bad about selling out mid-video. So, thank you for watching.